everyone. Connie Waddell here from Elite Auctions and Fundraising Services, and I want to say hello and welcome you to a less than 10-minute webinar, but one I think is going to offer you some wonderful ideas in order to increase your revenue at your fundraising event. So let's get started. Have you ever wondered why your bidders don't bid higher? Today I'm going to share 3 critical must-dos to prepare your bidders to bid higher no matter what you are selling. First, let's talk about what you might do in order to prepare your bidders prior to your event. And I'd like you to imagine a guest attending your event without any information as to the exciting items you will be selling at your live auction. They did not have sufficient time during the cocktail hour to read through your provided handout, perhaps a catalog, and to become familiar with specific details of the item or to gauge their desire to purchase that item when all of a sudden it's time for the live auction and the bidding begins. Your guests may very well raise their paddle at a beginning level of bidding, but as the amount increases, they become very uncertain and hesitant to continue bidding. Now, if you would, imagine if that guest had received several emails and or seen Facebook or other social media platforms announcing and detailing items that were being sold at your live auction. This guest would then have time to become familiar with the item, perhaps discuss the item with family and friends, and reach a logical and or emotional decision they want that item. I'd like to share with you a survey I recently came across. It was conducted by the Pew Research Center in 2018, and it showed Facebook remains the primary platform for most Americans. Roughly 2/3 of the United States adults now report that they are Facebook users, and roughly 3/4 of those users access Facebook on a daily basis. But the social media story extends well beyond Facebook. The video sharing site YouTube is now used by nearly 3/4 of the United States adults, and the typical American reports that they use 3 of the 8 major platforms. So I think you can see why using social media is every bit as important as email. Let's talk about what you can do during the social hour, that time when your guests gather. Perhaps you have a silent auction. It's sometimes called a cocktail hour, but that time before the live auction starts. What can you do to prepare your bidders? Well, I highly recommend a live auction table displaying all the items in your live auction. Now, if you have trips or experiences, you'll want to have beautiful posters on display of that particular type of item. But if you have the actual items, such as a beautiful diamond necklace or a man's Rolex watch, you'll definitely want to have those on display also. Be sure to have 2 to 3 trained volunteers at your live auction table. And when I say trained, I mean they're very well aware of what's being sold at the live auction. They'll be able to provide exciting information about each item and answer specific questions from your potential bidders. I also recommend asking your auctioneer to make live auction item announcements every 10 to 15 minutes. He or she can encourage guests to visit the table and highlight individual items at the table. For example, they might say, "Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to visit our live auction table tonight and check out that beautiful man's Rolex watch." These announcements should be no more than 30 seconds long, and like I said, every 10 to 15 minutes. Another very important, very critical must-do is during the live auction, have some sort of visual presentation that all your guests can see. I recommend beautiful and exciting pictures, and keep your text to a minimum. People really don't take the time to read that text, so you want to display as many exciting and gorgeous pictures as you can. Each slide then, of course, will be presented in the order and when your auctioneer is selling that item. Be sure to provide a complete description to your auctioneer so he or she can fully explain to your bidders the item they are bidding on. I also highly recommend using professional bid spotters. They will be in the audience and able to answer questions and concerns your bidders may have on the fly during the bidding. I was trained at the Professional Ringman's Institute, and along with that training and my years of experience, I can tell you that not only am I the eyes and ears for my auctioneer, I intuitively can tell when a bidder is perhaps hesitating due to a question or concern they might have. So I can quickly respond to that and the bidding can go on. Recapping the 3 must-dos to assure higher bids at your live auction. Be sure to use social media and email to get the word out prior to your event what's being sold at the live auction. Set up a live auction table at the event so that people can look and see what's being sold at the live auction. And then during your auction, present picture descriptions of the items being sold. If you have found this video to be of value and would like to watch more awesome free web classes on how to greatly increase your revenue at your fundraising event, simply click below.